Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good good morning everyone. Today I want to give a summary about the paper about study abroad's contribution to critical thinking and world citizenship by Min Nguyen. This paper is written by Min Nguyen, and this paper is articulates and defend two theses due to Richard Paul and Linda Elder. First, creative thought and critical thought cannot be separated. Second, the intellectual traits constitutive of critical thinking are interdependent. The twin theses combined with entertain impact studies show that study abroad enhances both creativity and critically. The benefit of study abroad is described. Study abroad is typically described as a life-changing, a defining moment, or so participants say. Study abroad help shape a participant's life for years after the experience. In 2002, the Institute for the International Education of Studies (EAS) conducted the large survey of study abroad alumni ever. The EAS Abroad 50-year alumni survey confirms the long-term impact of study abroad on a participant personal, academic, and professional life. This paper it is talk about the benefit of the what is it studies abroad, and what is it benefit of critical thinking in the study abroad, and this paper is talk about the cultural and linguistic benefits. That's it. And this paper argues that creative thought and critical thought cannot be separated, and that the intellectual traits constitutive of critical thinking are independent. It means that intellectual traits constitutive of critical thinking and critical thought is the different things. Yeah. The papers is provides evidence that study abroad enhance both creativity and critically. It means that the study abroad can enhance your creativity skill and critically think critically skill in your life. Like if you study abroad, you will see the new friends and new lecture, and so you can explore more with the experience with the others, like that, and leading to intellectual growth in participants. The primary value of such gain resides in their potential to realize not only the Socratic ideal of rationality, but also the Diegonian ideal of cosmopolitanism. It's mean you just not to use one ideality like Socratic, but you must combine the Diegonian ideal and the Socratic ideal, like that, and you will be more critically, more creativity, and your ideal is more better than now. The paper recommends certain policies and practice to help ensure the desires can. It's mean the paper is recommended certain policies, and that's more that have more practice to help us to ensure the desired gain. However, the paper is limited to the author's own research and does not provide a comprehensive review of literature on that topic. I think it is what is it? The weakness of the paper, yeah. And the next is not only talk about the benefit of critical thinking or benefit of what is it study abroad and what is it give you more idealism. This paper is talk about the inseparability of creativity and criticality too. Study abroad promotes the development of not only creative thinking but also critical thinking for two reasons. The first, according to the commonly accepted model of critical thinking development by Richard Burr and Linda Elder, creative thinking and critical thinking are so interwoven that neither can be separated from the others with an essential loss to both. It's mind generative power, that is creativity, and it is judiciousness critically can be separated only artificially. In the process of actual thought, they are one. This means that creative and critical thinking are not opposite form of thought, but rather independent and integrated to teach simultaneously for both creative and critical. And the paper certain policy and practice to help ensure the desired gain. The paper provides evidence that creative thought and critical truth cannot be separated, and that the intellectuality traits constitute of critical thinking and independent. To teach simultaneously for both creative and critical thinking requires focusing on this term in practically everyday context, keeping their central meaning in mind and seeking insight into how they overlap and interact with one another in understanding critical and creative to truly and deeply. They are recognized as inseparable, integrated, and unitary. And the next is the cultivation of critical thinking. The cultivation of critical thinking is a crucial skill that has been widely debated by the education community since the 19th and 16th, especially in the 21st century. Critical thinking has become a popular word in education and has become a must-have quality of thinking for everyone. Students today need to ability to think independently to solve the problem and meet the change of difficulties in their lives. The lack of critical thinking skills might affect not only students' learning success but also their personal lives when they graduate and enter the workforce. Currently, critical thinking has been attracting many researchers and teachers' attention. There are various ways to cultivate critical thinking skills, including the guiding students to think and discuss, put forward their views and elaborate, and promoting active engagement and participants in the classroom. Affection strategies for developing critical thinking among children require a holistic approach that includes different aspects of learning. The cultivation of critical thinking involves a sequence of intellectual activities, and it can be fostered through training and instructing. Critical thinking is a lifelong learning skills that requires ongoing practice. In this paper, there are three models of proposal for ensuring intellectual growth in study abroad students. First, study abroad. While not inexpensive, foster the development of informed and critically and creative thinkers who communicate effectively. To borrow a signature phrase from the Writers University Quality Enhancement Plan, since such development is crucial at a level of education subject to the relevant budgetary constraint, study abroad ought to be part of any significant institutional effort to promote critical and creative thinking. The second is considering adaptation is the critical mechanism that underlies the robust correlation between living overseas and enhanced creativity. Study abroad programs ought to be structured in such a way as to encourage participants' change of adapting to the host country culture. If participant from hermetic community is in which they live and interact primarily with others from their own culture, they may fail to take full advantage of opportunity to improve their creativity and thus critical thinking. The third, in a recent study, Joshua S. McKeown observed no president, provost, dean, or study abroad director would discourage the expansion of studying abroad on her or his campus, with most actively encouraging it. Yet the kind of inquiry and assessment that typically accompany first year's program, academic curricula, living learning communities, and other campus programs have largely been absent for study abroad. And the last session is the strength and weakness in this paper. The paper is Study Abroad Contribution to Critical Thinking and World Citizenship by Min Nguyen, has both strength and weakness. The first is strength. The paper articulates and defends these two theses due to Richard Paul and Linda Elder, which are that creative truth and critical truth cannot be separate. It's meant by the thesis by Richard Paul and Linda Elder mean it's the creative truth and the critical truth cannot be separate, and that is the fusion that you give you more intellectual abilities and critical ability. The next is the paper highlights the benefits of study abroad, such as enhancing student language skills and critical thinking skill. It's mean in the paper you can get the benefit of study abroad, and you can enhancing the skills, the language skills and critical thinking skills. And the next is the paper provides evidence that students who study abroad have greater flexibility and better critical skills compared to before studying abroad. And it's mean that if you after you study abroad, the the paper provides evidence that the student have after studying abroad is have better critical thinking skills than before studying abroad. And the last is weaknesses. The paper is limited the author own research and does not provide a comprehensive review of literature on the topic. The next is the paper does not address potential drawbacks or limitation of study abroad programs. And the last is this paper was published in 2012, so it may not reflect the most recent research on the topic. Overall, the paper provides some valuable insights into the benefit of study abroad programs, but it is important to consider other sources of information and research to gain a more complete understanding of the topic. I think that is enough from me. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you guys.